Have you ever seen someone with a dusty cross on their forehead, or who avoided meat on Fridays, sometimes during the late winter? Well, chances are this person was practicing Lent, a season of fasting during the 40 days leading up to Easter. Throughout church history, Easter was the day when baptisms were performed. The time before was spent in preparation, sometimes years of preparation, where new converts were taught basics of the faith and how to give up their former ways of living. Over time, Lent is condensed down to 40 days of fasting, prayer, and generosity, and is practiced by Christians all over the world. Lent has a few significant themes associated with the season. However, it's the image of the wilderness that is most commonly connected with the lead up to Easter. This comes from the 40 days that Jesus spent in the wilderness, fasting from food. Even though he was tempted by the devil, he never gave in because he was sustained through his abiding relationship with God the Father. In our daily lives, we look to just about anything else, except for God, to sustain and support ourselves. During Lent, we fast from those things to return to the truth that we need God more than anything or anyone else. As we see and acknowledge that need, we then consider how we might create space for God in our lives, usually through different forms of prayer, spiritual practices, and generosity. Now, the temptation in Lent is to try to prove our worth or earn favor with God. If I can keep this really challenging fast, then God will know that I really am serious about him. Or more likely, the other Christians around me will see how holy I am. This is not the invitation in Lent. Remember, Lent is about returning us to our need of God, not proving how powerful we are on our own. A helpful verse to hold on to during this season is John 15:5, when Jesus declares, "I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing." Apart from him, you can't do this fast. You can't fix your life. This season of Lent is ultimately to be done with God, not apart from him. I used to attend a church that practiced Lent as a congregation. We fasted and prayed and practiced generosity. We refrained from saying hallelujah during our church gatherings. After Good Friday service, we departed in silence, an eerie moment, as the cross was covered with a veil. But then, there was Easter Sunday, and a rainbow of colors invaded our worship space. Each person brought fresh flowers to decorate the cross, and we shouted hallelujahs during the service. I'd never experienced so much joy during Easter before in my life. There was something about that season of Lent that invited me to take an honest look at my heart and to see my need for Jesus. I had space to grieve over my sin and the horrors of crucifixion, and having entered more fully into this season of waiting, reflecting, and grieving, I emerged with a deeper appreciation of Christ's sacrifice. I was able to enter even more deeply into the joys of Easter. So maybe you're looking to engage in Lent this year, but don't know where to start. Or you've practiced it for many years, but you're looking for some fresh resources. Visit our website, churchbcc.org/Lent, where we've curated a collection of resources to support you in this season. Let me leave you with this quote from N.T. Wright. Lent is a time for discipline, for confession, for honesty, not because God is mean or fault-finding or finger-pointing, but because he wants us to know the joy of being cleaned out, ready for all the good things he now has in store.